La Tierra de Oro. Before the calles, before the neon glow of Route 66, this tierra was sacred. Our gente, the people desde los tiempos viejos, building their homes along the Rio Grande, living off the land, vibing with it, not biting with it. That river, it ain't just water, it's our history. It's our cultura, the same corriente that's been feeding the bosque and our gente for generations. And then you got La Reina del Burque, the Sandia Mountains. They don't just sit pretty, they stand firme, watching over us like the abuelos, turning that deep sandia red when the sun dips low. It's puro Nuevo Mexico magic. This isn't just any city, it's got corazón, historia, and a rhythm all its own. Pero let's be real, Burque isn't just sunshine and chile roasting, it's got its battles too. And today, we ain't sugarcoating nada. We're rolling where the gente are fighting for their lives every day. Some things, they don't change. I grew up on these streets where you either toughen up or get swallowed up because Burque streets don't forgive. This place, the so-called war zone, where crime, homelessness, drugs, and mental health problems all collide. A place where people's lives get taken away just like that. Time to face the facts, carnal.
The rates of drug use don't differ according to income or social class. Or rich people of all ethnicities use drugs at the same rate as poor people. So we hear the story that poverty and drugs go together because it's more visible. You can see the homeless people. You can't see the person in the gated community in their backyard doing drugs. And if they get caught, they can afford a very good lawyer to minimize the consequences for that, as opposed to the trajectory for the person in poverty, which is going to be a lot different. So if you're talking about homelessness, that's the visible drugs. That's what you can see.
Homelessness isn't just a number or a statistic, it's real life right here in Albuquerque. Families living in tents, people barely hanging on, but it's deeper than just that. Fentanyl is taking over the streets. People who got caught up in this cycle don't forget the mental health crisis.
And then the public then says, oh, look at this person. It's obviously their fault. You know, they are to blame and they don't want to do anything about it. So, you know, they don't really deserve our empathy.
It all starts with understanding the whole problem. You can't just patch things up with a real quick fix. People need more than just a place to stay. They need the resources, they need the support, they need help to get back on their feet.
Oh, I've seen terrible changes like that. I have like 4 or 5 pickups. One of them's been stolen out of the parking lot of the Ramada Inn. And I says I've had parts stolen off, tires, everything. My house has always been left alone. But the job sites I go to, I've probably had my tools stolen off the job sites. We've lost about 5-6 trailers, construction trailers. We've lost a pickup. We've lost much tools, and I mean like 5,000, 3,000, 10,000. Big hits that we never recouped, never got back. And of course, insurance doesn't pay much when they do pay, so the crime, and I said the last 10 years has got really bad. Like I said, they stole the trailer plumb full of sheetrock that was behind the pickup at a job site, took the trailer and the sheetrock.
People out here fighting the battles in their own heads, and they ain't even getting any help. It's all tied together, Holmes. Addiction, homelessness, mental health. If you're not fixing them all together, you're just putting a band-aid over a gunshot wound.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a big deal. Drugs, drugs pretty much the way I define is anything that alters the way in which you perceive reality. If you get somebody that's already got mental illness and you add drugs to the mix, it's gonna lead to a lot more combustible situations, obviously. And what I've noticed here is just even the type of drugs out here. Fentanyls are a really big thing. We know multiple people, prime example, multiple people out here that have overdosed or know someone that's overdosed on drugs laced with fentanyl. And, you know, there's all other kinds of things too. Cocaine is getting bigger and bigger out here. Meth, there's Breaking Bad, the entire series was based out of here, right?
You know, when people think about homeless youth, something that they might not realize is many of those youths are actually kids that aged out of the foster care system, right? They're placed with a family, they turn 18, the family is no longer obligated to take care of them. So where do they go? You know, often they don't have a place to go. There are some services, but for whatever reason, you know, those are underfunded, you know, maybe it doesn't work out, and they end up homeless.
Cruising through these streets, you can see how many people have just given up. People don't even want to come down here, afraid of what they might see. But Senator Jay Block, he's not just about talking. He's out here in the trenches, talking to the people who are forgotten, the ones who most folks don't want to deal with. What's happening and why is it happening and how's it all connected? And the truth is, this isn't just a homeless problem, it's a crime problem, it's a drug problem, and it's a mental health problem. And until we fix all of them, we ain't fixing nada, eh? If we don't address it the right way, we're just gonna keep seeing the same mess over and over.
So my name's Senator Jay Block, State Senator for District 12, which we're in District 12 right now. We just came out of Rio Rancho and we're right over here on golf course in McMahon by the Burger King and the Smiths. Not a bad area at all. We're going to take you to a couple of areas that are a little bit rough in Albuquerque, which is pretty sad because Albuquerque's been just, it's got a wonderful history through Route 66, great sports town, great town for music and food. And unfortunately, Albuquerque has just had a lot of issues in the past 10 years or so. And we're going to show you just a little bit about some of the people that we want to help. We just ended our 60-day session. And one of the things that is near and dear to my heart is behavioral health treatment and substance abuse treatment, because of kind of like what I went through as a kid, seeing in my family. And we want to help these people. And I believe these people definitely have value and deserve an opportunity to be helped. And we'll show you some of that. Well, when I was a kid growing up in Manchester, New Hampshire, it was an old mill town along the Merrimack River. I grew up in a 3-decker apartment building there, and my mom had some drug and alcohol issues that I was exposed to. I'm an only child, and it was a little bit rough. And I just, I just want to help other families get through that and prevent other families, especially kids, going through what I had to go through and what I saw. Growing up, again, it was my dad and my grandparents. My mom wanted me to have a good life. She didn't want me into drugs and alcohol and things like that. I had a coach named Doug Glantz, who was my cross-country coach in high school, and he was very, very tough guy. He was built like a tank. In fact, he has a New Mexico connection. He's a Manchester, New Hampshire guy, and he went to college at Highlands up in Las Vegas to play football. And Doug, Mr. Coach Glantz, pulled something out of me to get me on the right track and help instill some discipline in me. And I knew I wanted a better life. I wasn't going to let my dyslexia or my being a poor kid hold me back.
Respect my people, okay? These are my people, and we don't.
When you mean respect, what do you mean?
I don't overshoot them.
What do you mean overshoot them?
I don't put them on camera.
Don't put them on camera?
Don't like look at us. Right here.
Everything's right here, huh?
Yeah. So I would say 80% of everybody out there.
Yeah.
They have homes. They have somewhere to go into.
So can we stay right here? Right there, and
Yeah, that's West Side Shelter bus right there.
do a lot of people get on it or not?
People try not to because the West Side Shelter is like a jail out there. We're true, honestly, people that are they no crime, whatever. When you go out there, they treat us like we did a crime, that we're going to jail. We're checking behind you. So yeah, we're checking into jail right there. So like a lot of people.
So does this shelter come once a day, or I'm sorry, the bus once a day, or?
4 times a day right there. And there's some other spots.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm tired.
We don't have universal health care. So if you are poor and on the edge, let's say you're not yet homeless, perhaps you start taking drugs to self-medicate for the mental or physical illness that you can't afford to go see the doctor for. And then there goes the spiral.
Homelessness ain't just a number, it's real life for families fighting, living in tents. Kids out on the streets, folks barely holding on, but the real killer out here is fentanyl. It's everywhere. It's in Burque, it's in New Mexico, it's in the rural areas. Fentanyl-related deaths have shot up by 300% in the last few years. That just isn't just numbers, it's our people. Fentanyl doesn't care who you are. It's taking our sons, our daughters, our mothers. And it's not just killing bodies, it's destroying our soul, our cultura. It's wiping out generations one hit at a time.
Yeah, we were over at this awful place on 2nd Street and I-40. We saw an encampment over there, not too far from Coronado Park, where they used to all be camped out, and now they were moved out of there, and they're basically under the bridge. We saw people passed out, saw people doing drugs, we saw a lot of animals as well, a lot of dogs that kind of looked not great. People of all ages there too, and we had our what was his name, Farron. We met a guy named Farron down there. He was Apache tribe, and he walked us around, and Farron's got some issues as well that he told us about. It looks like he does a lot of drinking. He's not he said he's not taking fentanyl, but who knows. And he was telling us about the cartels being down there, and rapes going on down there, and trafficking and drug dealing, and just all the worst things you can possibly think of are going on where we were just at. And quite frankly, I felt a little vulnerable down there. I don't know if you did or not, a little unsafe, the way we were dressed down there. And very sad seeing human beings living like that. We also saw the shuttle bus to the West Side Shelter, and talking to Farron, a lot of people don't want to take it because they feel like they're disrespected or whatever over on the West Side. They feel like they're in jail. I mean, they're trying to help these people. The bottom line is, like Farron said, those people, they don't want help. They just want to live like that. And I don't know how they do it. I don't know if their families know they're down there living like that. You said you saw a young girl about 21 years old down there. I can't even imagine. And I guess, what was it, yesterday, the day before, Farron said there was a woman down there on the corner that OD'd and was dead. And yeah, she was gone. She overdosed and laying out on the corner dead. Just not a great place. And the question is that how do you fix those people? What's it going to take to fix those people? And when you fix them, if you can, what's the damage that's already done to them? Because they're not all there. It's just sad, very, very sad what's going on. And we just saw a small part of it in Albuquerque. I mean, think about that nationwide. I mean, that's all over the country, and how many lives are ruined because of the fentanyl coming in. And Farron's said it's going on all the time, and no one's doing anything about it. Even the police aren't really doing anything about it, and they've talked about doing drugs right in front of the police. So it almost feels like society's kind of given up on these people. And I don't think that's right. I think we got to do what we can to clean them up. So with that, my friend, that was a heck of a day down there.
Real eye-opener.
Yeah. Big time.
It's about giving people a chance to get right. Ain't nobody perfect, but we all deserve a shot at redemption. We've seen folks come back from the brink, people who's found their way out of darkness, but it ain't just about cleaning up the streets. Nah, it's about cleaning up the system. It's about making sure these people get the help they need to turn their lives around. That's where the real change comes in.
If I had a magic genie, obviously you can eliminate all the drugs. And that's one way to make it stop, but that's not really feasible. I think just informed use is a much better way to go, educating people on, what these drugs do, what their side effects are, how they're gonna affect you when you have, pre-existing conditions and things like that. And also, our shelters out here, we have to be much more receptive. I think low barrier shelters are really the way to go. Shelters that advocate for you to get clean.
For those in, the lower half of that equation, it's what we need to focus on is putting the social investment and the programs into mental health services, into affordable health care that people can actually get if they can't pay, and they can't buy insurance. So we kind of need to back up and realize, number one, it's everybody's problem, rich or poor. But if you're poor, you don't have health insurance to take care of the problems that may be driving you there to that. And I think that's the takeaway, is you have to look at what kind of safety net do we have. And we need to fund it. We need to make it a priority.
This is an Apache handshake. Apache people come with honor from the big tipi.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
God bless you guys.
Thank you.
We've seen it all with our own two eyes. We've heard all the stories, and the truth is clear. Things need to change. No more turning a blind eye. This isn't just about cleaning up the streets. It's about fixing our system, making sure no one gets left behind. We can't let fentanyl keep taking our people. We've got work to do, and it all starts right here, right now. If we're gonna turn this around, we gotta do it together. We can't let it kill our cultura.